was one other thing, Pastor
Go
King,
ahead, go ahead.
with the we had the mock jury
Oh, right.
trial. If anybody participated in that, we wanted to hear that, hear your feedback.
Uh, Karen has her hand up. Go ahead, Karen.
Yes, I participated. It was fabulous and very instructive. Yesterday was how they picked the juries, and of course, what we were testing out primarily was how to do all the things they used to do when the courts were open before the pandemic, and how to do that now with plexiglass dividers and people wearing masks and things that where the attorneys can stand or walk, and how we hear each other, and where does the jury even sit, because the jury did not could not sit in the usual jury box because it's not distant enough. So we started working on that yesterday, and then 14, they had 5 cohorts. I did one at 8 in the morning, there was one at 10, and I think noon, and 2, and I don't know, something like that. And so we started out with about 15 people, and then, we were asked all kinds of questions, both in a written survey ahead, and then some oral questions. So at the end of the day, you found out whether you were chosen to be in the mock jury, which was for today. So I was chosen for that, along with 14 people. They had 2 alternates. And we had the jury room was a courtroom. That way we could be distanced on the benches. And then we heard a mock trial. There was a case that it was actually a real case, but it happened 5 or 6 years ago, and has already been tried. But I don't know how many details might have been changed, but there were people standing in for the witnesses and for the offender and for the person who was charged, and for the and then they had attorneys, and yes, and then all of the judge, of course, it was Judge Asha Jackson, Letitia Deer Jackson, who was the judge. And it was, we would stop here and there to work a little problem out with technology, or with, hearing, or where seating, or, things like that. But primarily we did a lot of the trial. And everybody practiced taking notes and all the things that jurors do. We did not do jury deliberation, but we did have about an hour at the end of the day to share all of our thoughts on how the day went. Generally, I was very impressed at all the precautions that were taken from the time you enter the courthouse to the jury management room, to how they made all the choices and kept people distanced and so forth. A lot of things were up to all of the participants, and of course it was the first time that this has been happening. They had air purifiers in the room. They provided face shields for us. They actually gave us lunch today too, so that was a surprise. At any rate, I think that there were so many people that were also mock jurors that had all kinds of court experience that I don't have, but because there were attorneys and people who worked in DeKalb legal departments who'd been all pressed into service as volunteers. So and students, there were some students. It was really fascinating to see the mix of people, and all the comments that people were able to give for feedback. One thing they learned right away is that they need a tech coordinator in the room all the time. They can't just have someone on call who comes in to try to fix things, because it takes an awful lot of time, and it really helps if the coordinate, that tech person, can see and hear what's been going on, so that they can make the changes that are necessary quickly.
Thank you so much, Karen, for being a part of that. And I'm not sure what the next portion of that is, but if there is going to be a portion, it would always be good for others that can volunteer for that. Will there be another portion that you know of?
That was not, that information was not given to us. So yeah, I do not know.
Okay. Uh, Tawana Jones has her hand up. Yes, ma'am.
Hi, everyone. Good evening. So I did participate in the mock jury yesterday as well, and Ms. Morris did cover a lot of grounds. I did the 3 p.m. Session, and I definitely agree with a lot that Ms. Morris said. A lot of the questions that they asked, I think, was really great as well. Some of the questions that we were asked, even with being spaced out in the courtroom, would you be comfortable if someone took off their mask, or if you were required to take off your mask but wear a shield? Would you be comfortable? And some people were not comfortable with that. I think they definitely took a lot of great precautions. The process with the jury management was very, very easy. I think where we did see some issues is everything was backed up and started late because of the cleaning that's done in the middle. So there was some discussion about maybe not being able to do 4 sessions a day, maybe only doing 2 to keep things on track. But I didn't get selected for today, but it was definitely a really, really good experience. And it was awesome to see the precautions that were taken into consideration to be social distance and COVID friendly.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Ms. Jones. If there is another iteration of it, please let us know by email. You can always email Bert Skelly here, and then he gets it out to the team. So just make sure that we can get that if at all possible. Just a few more things. We are kind of far spent. We want to make sure we talk about the future presentations and also current and future projects. Just real quick, if anybody has anything on the future presentations, speak up now.
So just to bring, okay, we've been doing this format for a while. I think everybody likes this format. You can say yes or no in the chat or whatever. So we want to keep to that. We have some other key people that we're reaching out to. I thought I had got my confirmations up to May, but I will reach back out to Donna, and then we'll go and get some other judges from the different levels of state superior, so you can hear from them on what they're doing as well. And plus, we want to get some emphasis on how we can literally become court watchers. So I was thinking that people who were engaged in the mock trial jury selection or that process were getting wanted to know more about sitting in the courtroom. And we can arrange that. Chief Asha Jackson said that if we wanted to arrange for people to come and watch, even though they're virtual, we can set those up for our criminal justice committee to actually do that. If that's something that we want to do from the committee, please let me know. Please let us know so we can plan accordingly to be there as a group. And what we could do is come up with some questions and create a summary of what we see going on in a court and start from there. I do get requests to come into the court and be with some of the families. I'm very sketchy about that sometimes, but I do what I can. But that's just an opportunity for us to build our base on volunteerism and seeing what really goes on in the court system. So I will continue with getting us more people to actually come to this meeting and let you guys know. I send that out to Bert and and Pastor Speakman, and we'll get that planned out for the next 3 months.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Ms. Hardy, Ms. Teresa. I think that's about it for now, unless someone has anything else. Teresa or Bert, anything right now to claim our attention?
I see Carolyn.
Oh, okay. Yeah, she's waving her hand. Go ahead.
Hi, this is sort of at the last minute. I'm sorry, but I've just been listening and listening. I'm pretty involved with the Restorative Justice Committee with Bert, but I had the opportunity, and I don't know if this fits because it doesn't relate to DeKalb County. It's Fulton County, but I had the chance to meet with Mario Stinchcombe, the young fellow that was exonerated from being wrongfully committed. I met him today, and he is interested in being able to have opportunities to talk about, you know, his experience, is what he said. He's feeling very much feeling empowered to share his story. And his lawyer, when I met him, said that if there's ever an interest in him speaking at, for example, at the NAACP or whatever, for me to let her know. So I wanted to share that before the end of the meeting.
Awesome. Thank you so much. If you can, I'm pretty sure that you have Mr. Bert Skelly's email address.
Yeah, I do.
You can email him and we can make sure that we get him in one of the meetings to kind of express and give some words on that end. And that would be great to have him as well. So we can see it from the other end. We're seeing a lot of times from the end of those that are attorneys and judges, and we like to look at it from the other end of somebody that's exonerated and or have come out of the penal system and is doing well.
Yeah. All right. Thank you. I appreciate that. I will get this information to Bert. Thank
Awesome.
you.
Thank you so much.